Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are we all doing today? Today is Thursday, May 30th, 2024. Welcome. I want to first announce our free giveaway. It ends tomorrow on the 31st. Subscribe for a chance to win a $100 gift card. All you have to do is be a member and comment. The more comments on more videos, the more chances you have to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Also, check out some of our free trading tools. Very useful. On the first link below, investingforbeginnerscommunity.com. First link in description. We have updated earnings releases, real-time economic calendar, advanced real-time charts, 3 stages of reversal, 3 stages of position size, support and resistance levels, and how to identify them, and risk reward win rate. So definitely check those out. Up here at the top, there's also a link to get to our Discord server and private Facebook group. So definitely check those out. Today we are looking at Mara. We had a nice little bounce back or dip. I bought at these levels. I did not go live yesterday. Unfortunately, my daughter was not feeling very good. She woke up coughing really bad, and we thought maybe she had something stuck in her throat. She was sick, something like that. Took her to the doctor, and they said that it's allergies. She's never had allergies before, but now that she's 8 years old, she all of a sudden has allergies. So very odd, but I'm glad we figured out what was wrong with her, and just hoping that she gets a fast recovery. So spreading my links around a little bit early. We have about 5 minutes until the market opens. I did hold Mara overnight. As you can see, it basically just sold off all day yesterday after I started trading it. So I held overnight with a limit order in extended hours, hoping that it would sell off during the morning, because yesterday morning had a nice sharp dip here. See, it went up, went all the way up to 21.14. And again, it's just one of those things where I bought way too high up. Should have waited for confirmation. Fear of missing out made me buy up high. And now we are in those lower levels. Should have waited to get to that $20 level, because if I did, then we could have seen a much higher percentage gain, already up 3%, possibly 4 to 5%, compared to now where we're just trying to break even. It's at 2060, so we're almost to where break even is. As you can see, open P&L was about negative $13, and now today's P&L is $12 minus 2, so about a $14 negative open. So it will not be a day trade. It'll count as a swing trade. So yeah, be aware of that. When I sell today, it would not count as a day trade. How's everyone's morning going? Everyone's having a good morning. I am a couple minutes early here. Spreading my links around, getting ready for us to get set up. Monday, our stock market was closed, so I traded on Tuesday, and then I didn't trade yesterday. And here we are trading today on Thursday, May 30th. Now there is one more day of the week. It's May 31st. And then we'll announce our giveaway winner on June 1st, which will be, I guess I could do it on Saturday. It doesn't really matter. If not Saturday, then I'll announce it on our next live stream on Monday morning, or possibly on our Sunday night stock talk. So we're going to get back on track here. I know the other day I wasn't feeling too well, and then now my daughter's not feeling well, obviously. So it's a little rough when you have stuff like that going on. All right, cool. So that's the only position I have for today. Markets are about to open, so we want to see what this does. It can go two directions. It can go up, hit these resistance levels from previous highs like yesterday, or it can come crashing back down and reach those previous support levels from yesterday. Now, there's nothing wrong either way if that does happen on these companies. Not really a big issue to me because we are going to basically sell high and buy low. There we go. So it's selling off. That's what it wants to do at the last second, is sell off. As you can see here, I have 33 shares, almost $700, up about $8 right at as the moment. Going back up $9, $10. Not even really up, just getting our money back. Which company is this? Tina. This is Mara. MARA is the ticker symbol. We're on the 5-minute chart. And this is Marathon Digital Holdings. They are one of the larger digital holding companies for Bitcoin. They're doubling their hash rate from 25 hash to 50 hash by the end of the year. So now we're in the middle of the year. They're probably already at like 35 or close to 40 hash rate, which is really good. Glad you're feeling better. Sorry your daughter isn't feeling well. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. Appreciate that. So 30 seconds. I really want to see what happens with this company when it bounces. As you can see here, I bought it $20.74 and sold it $20.99. I think that was like $3. It wasn't a heck of a lot. Then I bought some more at $20.78. Bought 10 more at $20.69. Bought 10 more at $20.54, knowing that this would come down. And I should have waited to buy more down at these $20 levels. Didn't. And so now I am just kind of showing this as a clear, okay, market is open. As a like educational purposes, basically, what happens when you hold a company overnight? Is it possible to sell and get out for a higher amount sometimes? And right now we are not necessarily paying the price for it, but we are not reaping any of the reward or benefit as if we would have just sold and got out here at this level, which I could have a couple times, right? I could have at least once, twice got out and broke even. So now this company, a few things could have happened. This thing could have continued selling off, going down to lower lows like $19 or even $18, which would not have been good for us. Now I do notice it is in our support range here, and it has area to move, not just to my resistance line, but all the way up here even more on that $23 level to about 10 or 11%. So that's really what I was banking on. 10% of even $700 would be $70. So here it goes, starting to move. So then here's the biggest dilemma. Do we break even? Do we lock in, $16 of money that we didn't have, lock in $2? Or is this thing going to continue to go up even more? And it could just continue selling off. See, now it's going down. So we were up to $16. It may go back down to those $20 levels. It may start to go back up. This is a 30-minute time zone. And now we're looking at the 1 minute. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, even if I sold half of those shares right here. But again, there's a lot more potential on the 4 hour for it to even make some big moves, such as this candle here, where it can move easily 5 or 6%, 9%, 12%. So this company can definitely move higher than actually moving lower because it's finding support levels at $20 still. Resistance at 20, resistance at 20. It broke through to new highs at 23 and then slowly declined. It hit support levels at 20 here on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and now it's hitting resistance levels again on the 29th and the 30th, and now it's starting to push its way up. Doesn't mean it has to, but it can. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for spending a part of your morning with us. Now we are watching Mara today. Mara is on the list. While this kind of moves around and figures out the direction it wants to take, let's go ahead and look at a few other oversold companies that we've been watching for the last couple of days. I like to look at the 4 hour chart because it tells a bigger picture. As you can see here, some of these companies have had nice runs with pullbacks to the MA level and then running up again. This one didn't quite pull back all the way to that EMA level, but now it's trying to test its support and resistance and hopefully break past this EMA line. DE, super oversold. Look at that, guys. Way oversold, bringing in new lower lows. So if we bring our support level to here, you can see that this thing has some room to move. If it does start moving, that could be a 14% profit on DE when it does decide to recover. Now, the last time it did this, it recovered from 351 to 419 for a 20% profit in about a month and a half. Not too bad. JDST continuing to sell off, trying to find those areas of support and resistance. It looks like it has found its resistance level right around here and here. So do be aware of that. It is on the overbought side a little bit. It can go a bit higher, but more than likely JDST will be coming down because JNUG is finding its support levels and has the potential to go up. Now, for all of you who don't know, JNUG is a 2 times leveraged ETF for gold. So when gold goes up, JNUG goes up. When gold goes down, JDST goes up. So if gold is doing really badly, this will go up. If it's doing really good, JDST will go down. FFIE, we did trade this the other day, made a few dollars. It looks like it has found new areas of support right above the MA level, which is still higher than where it was previously. But this company is only trading at 50 cents, so be aware of that. If we can get back up to previous levels, that's a 200% return. 200% return. But be very careful with this one because it is a penny stock, okay, for sure. And any penny stocks that are cheap can always get cheaper. Now, we've been watching Intel for quite some time, trying to catch those bottoms and sell high, catch those bottoms and sell high for potential profits of around 7 to 8% per swing trade. Doesn't look like this one actually stayed along with exactly what we wanted to do. Let me go over to Mara real quick. Mara seems to be going down, which is fine. That's kind of what we wanted it to do anyways. You could always buy at a cheaper price and ride that wave up even more. So we'll be watching that. Should have sold up here a little bit, but it's going to bounce. I already know it. That's just how it works. The volatility of the market. If you can't, I heard it saying, if you can't stand the heat, then get out of the kitchen. That makes sense. Tina, are you watching JNUG or JDST? Yes, they are on my list. So JNUG is finding support again, right around these levels of previous areas of support. Let me draw that line out real quick. As you can see right here, had some areas of interest and some levels of support and resistance. Bounced up to highs of $45 multiple times, 1, 2 times, almost 3 times. So now we're watching and waiting to see what it does. It can come down 2% or it can go up almost 4.5%. So yeah, I always like to bet for gold, not necessarily against gold. But if this is oversold enough and JNUG is overbought enough to new levels, then I wouldn't consider trading it, yes. Also, Intel, if they can even get a small bounce to right here at this level, that'd be 3% return and to previous resistance of about 6%. So there is some money to be made there. Already talked about Mara. We'll go over it briefly. Moving from where it is now to previous resistance levels of about a 3% profit. Higher up resistance about a 6%, and overall highs recently of $23 would give you about a 12% profit. So there's definitely more upside than downside at this point. I'm not sure if you could see all these different levels. We're actually going to clear it up a little bit and take some of these other levels out because those are unclear levels. We have support, we have a resistance, and we have some lines showing its upward trend. Now it's kind of following along with its upward trend. It does break that trend line very often, so be aware of that with companies like this, okay? Ocugen. Now Ocugen has been a great company to trade recently, going from lows of 111 to highs of 210, 87% profit in 5 days, and then it slowly made its way back down, going from that 111 mark up to $2.05 for another 85% profit. So this happened in a matter of 21 days. Okay, so now I was hoping that this would come down again. As you can see here, it has a nice descending line, which means it's going to take a little longer for it to come down. But when it does come down, we have the potential from these lows of $1 to highs of 2 to make another 85% profit or so. Doesn't mean it has to. Looks like it has a nice green candle today. Potentially go up 22%, as you can see here. It's already up 4% for the day. So it did have a nice little push up from yesterday's activity. TQQQ, nice pullbacks. This is exactly what we wanted to see on TQQQ. This is a 3 times or a triple leveraged ETF for the market. It goes off of QQQ, which is 1-for-1 of the NASDAQ. So whatever the NASDAQ does, this tracks it very well. As you can see, we had a nice pullback here of about 6%, bouncing off of that EMA line and then actually recovering that almost exact 6%, about 5.84%. Now it's showing that it's oversold, so we would actually switch this from support to resistance levels. This is no longer a support. It broke that support when it created newer highs. Now that it's finding newer highs, it dropped back a little bit, and now that it's pulling back, we have an opportunity to make about I'd say conservatively about 3% to 4.5% when this thing does begin to go up. Okay, so TQQQ is definitely an oversold company. Which one is this? Ocugen. Oco10. That one right here is Ocugen, OCGN. This is a company we've been watching for a little while. Has a nice little track record of it going up, creating newer, higher highs and higher lows. As you can see here, it's like a staircase going up. Now, Ocugen is potentially, it's already up 4% for the day. So look at that, guys. From where it opened to where it is now, 3%, highs of almost 5%. Ocugen is they are a biopharmaceutical company that deal mostly with gene therapy, regenerative medicine, cell therapy, and biological therapies for retinal disease. So for your eyes, makes sense, right? Ocugen, optics. Yeah, so not too bad. We've been watching that one for a little while. Now SQQ is the inverse of TQQQ, so be very careful. This is selling off. When the market does poorly, this does good. When the market does good, this does poorly. And Hood, we're waiting for this to happen. Now Hood did bounce on this support level of 1926 and has recently made those new highs, almost to where it previously was before, making about a 14% profit in 4 days. Even now, if you're still holding, about a 10% profit in a week. Okay, so those are the levels that we were looking for here. We're going to delete some of these lines because they are irrelevant now, and go from there. So as you can see, there are areas of clear resistance and support. I believe it is overbought at the moment, so it can still come down about 9 to 10% before we're looking at investing in it at those low levels and possibly getting about a 13% profit. So it's possible that that comes down a little bit more. Doesn't mean it has to, but it can. Warner Brother here, look at this. Now, Warner Brother is a good example of a company not to buy, okay? Not to buy. Why? Because your green 200-day average is slowly going down, okay? There's no clear sign of change in direction. So if there's no change in direction, the only direction this is showcasing is down, okay? Is down. Now, we are hitting some support levels here, but this support level can actually be way down here now at $7.30. If it does get down to these levels, then we have a potential to make, 18% profit or so from $7.30 to about $8.69. Doesn't mean it has to. It could just continue to sell off. If we look at the day chart, yeah, this company has just been selling off for quite some time. Now, you might be able to catch some of these dips here. That's a 78% increase in 44 days, but doesn't mean you're going to time that correctly. Here's another 34%. Neo keeps popping off on my screen. Let's go ahead and look at Neo. Neo not moving much. It did break one of my levels, though, one of my alerts. Now look at this. What would you guys say about this? It's catching a lot of resistance right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good signs that this is a resistance level. You could consider this support. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's clear signs of support and resistance with Neo. Neo needs to come down a little bit before I decide to buy in it. But yeah, if it does come down to those support levels, easy 2 to 3% profit. Could also break through this resistance level here, creating a new support, and then starting to find its way up to that MA level. About another 4% profit if it does decide to continue to rise. Take a look at Mara. Mara doing very nicely, just like we thought. It's about to sell out, so I'm going to go to OK. And we're going to cancel that order right before I sell. We're up $22, up almost $9 on the day. Doesn't mean it has to go much higher because it is touching that support level, but this is the exact dip that we were waiting for. There we go, pushing new highs to $21. Nice, here we go. Mara is increasing. Up $25, $26. Now this has the potential to go up even more. Look at this. It can go all the way up to $23 if it wants to. What exactly does overbought and oversold mean again, Tina? So when you're in these support levels here, it's oversold, meaning everyone is selling the position, waiting to get back in. And when it's at these higher levels, these red resistance lines, then that is overbought, meaning everyone has overextended the stock. They've bought a lot of it, and the direction is basically saying that, hey, this is an overbought company. Good question. Good question. So we are going to sell these $27 for the day. Our goal is to make $50 a day on this small account of right around $3,000. Now with this small account, we're able to have higher risk trades. We're able to kind of use this money to create higher rewards with higher risk. But, you know, it's not the end of the world if, say, I did happen to lose it all, because I took $1,000 out of my margin account. So the $1,000 I took out in profit is pure profit. The other additional $2,000 we've made with the $1,000 is also profit. Over the last few months, I've just literally been sitting at my computer trying to document everything I'm doing, not only for you guys, but for myself as a kind of digital journal. What I did wrong, what I did right, what we could double down on and do better, etc. So that is kind of my spiel there on that. Taking an account from $1,000 in January to a little over $3,400 now in May, and being able to just really grow this account by trading companies like this, buying when it's low, selling when it's high, buying when it hits those support levels again, selling when it hits those resistance levels again. And I've made mistakes, right? But usually my mistakes are way less than my successes. For every 10 trades, I will have 2 bad trades. So that means I have an 80% success rate when I do trade, which is just fantastic, right? I'm bought up too high. I realized where my support and resistance levels was. I realized the area where I seen opportunity where it could go up even higher, and it still can go up higher. And knowing when to cut my losses. I would have been way up here and bought my shares. I would have sold, because I could be down $30, $100, $200 right now if I bought too high. But seeing how I bought, you know, a little high on the daily, or on the you know, a little bit high here on the day, was not as significant as buying high on the 4-hour or for the weekly. Okay, I knew these were oversold levels. I was in the support range of $20, about $20.50. I bought, I took my chance, and now it's going up higher. This company has already gone up, you know, 3% today. It has the potential to go up even more, 12 to 13 to 14%. Doesn't mean it has to go all the way up in one day. No, it could take a couple days. And there are days where I'm willing to wait for that to happen, and there are days that I'd rather just cut my losses and get out. Now looky here. I sensed that there was some resistance. This is at 2107 is where I sold. So I sold at 2107, which was right here, which gave me a clear indication like, okay, obviously this thing is pulling back. I could have sold at 2114, but I wanted to see how the market reacted. If it was going to continue to go up higher, then I would hold. But as soon as I seen that it went over to this second candle, then created its first red candle, I thought, okay, it's going to start coming down. And we sold. Okay, so now we have an opportunity to buy again. Okay, because this is still a pretty good run. This is a great green candle. Doesn't mean it has to stay here. It can definitely push up, and it can go even higher, like I was saying, right? So we're going to wait for pullback. We have another, you know, that was only $700. So we have another 1,400, 2,000. I mean, gosh, technically we still have another $2,500 that we could put into this when it bounces, right? So it does come back a little bit, maybe touches this blue EMA line, bounces back up for another 3%, and we can make even more money. So on today's P&L, we're up $27, which isn't too bad to start out the morning. And Tina, I hope that explains oversold and overbought levels a little more clearly. Guys, also check out our trading tools here. We show most recent earnings releases, a real-time economic calendar, and an advanced real-time chart that you can use and play around with if you don't have any of the platforms that we're using. I have WeBull, MooMoo, and Robinhood all available in the link below to sign up and get started and get your free shares. As you can see here, we talk a lot about the 3 stages of reversal: stage 1 rejection, stage 2 consolidation, stage 3 confirmation. Stage 3 is the point where you want to buy in the area you want to be, whereas most traders will buy in stage 1 and lose money. So that's never good. Also, the waiting period, testing phase, and then entry, slowly adding to your position, always catching me add a few shares to that support level or testing phase. Now, risk reward can be extremely important. If you have a 1 chance to make a 1%, or like let's say a 50% chance to make a 50%, that's 1 for 1. That's not going to work. So you want to make 5 times your investment. And what I mean by that is simply going over to these charts and identifying, okay, if I bought here at 2050, just an example, okay, if I bought at 2050, well, I would risk about 1%, okay, as you can see right here, I would risk 1% because the downside for me is 1% to this support level. The upside is 3%, so that would be my 1 to 3 risk to reward, okay, 1 to 3. So I have 1% risk to make a 3% reward, and that'll make you profitable every single time, okay? Now, this can also be a bull trap here. I've seen it where, okay, you get one good green candle and then it sells off, right? You get one green candle, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna make so much money. You don't lock in profits at just a half a point because you think it's gonna go higher, and then it slowly crashes down and now you're down 1%. Let that happen to your account 3 or 4 times, you're down 3 or 4% because you're trying to play off of one single green candle. Now, this is a good indication now that it's going to go up in upward momentum. So we can always buy another, say 10 or 20 shares, 50 shares, 100 shares, and this can ride back up, right? And we can watch it go up a little bit. Now, do we want to do this? No. Why? Because our risk to reward isn't there now. So now we're going to risk 2% to make 2%. That's a 1 for 1 risk to reward. The downside is almost equal to the upside, and that's something that we don't want as traders. So not bad, 27 bucks on the day. And even that's decent, right? If you have, so I had less than $1,000, right? I had $675 invested into this company, something like that. I don't want to overdo it and hold a lot of money into it, but it looked like it was $680 or so. Okay, so I put 650 to make 680, and then so say just $30 to make it even, or $25. $25 a day times 5 is $125 a week. That's $500 a month. So it's always important to have goals, and even small goals like that, an extra $500 a month can mean a lot to somebody. That could be a car payment for some people. That could be some of the taxes that they need to pay. Now check this out, guys. It's stair stepping. So it had a huge sell-off to fake people out and get people to sell because it saw that it was going to get rejected, and now it's just going up. I'm gonna buy 10 more. I shouldn't though. I shouldn't. This thing will just start dropping again. And I just give back all my profits if it does. Yeah, look at that. I would have bought and it would have been coming down. So we're gonna wait for better confirmation than this. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Already up $27, and we're only 27 minutes into the market today, so almost a half an hour. Now, some people don't even trade the first 30 minutes or the first hour because they're waiting for that clear sign of direction. But as you can see here, it had a nice pullback to those support levels and then was able to pump 3.5%. See, I would have bought here and it would have started coming down. I think this is just going to come back down. So when it does come back down to these areas, we're going to buy again and sell high. Set my alerts. Alerts are important to use. They're very handy. So basically, if this level passes and breaks through this EMA, it's going to sell off. If it continues to rise and go above this area of resistance right here, then it may continue to go up. Now, there are a ton of other companies that we can be looking at trading. But really just finding your main focus on companies that you're comfortable with, right? So like this one right here had a nice push up, but less than 1%. So is it worth your time to sit around at a screen and make 1%? Or would it be better off for you to find these areas of opportunity to make 3%, 4%, 5%, right? Right here, this was a stop it. We were just talking about this. 70%, guys. 77% profit. So that same $1,000 would have just made you $750. Literally in 30 minutes. Now it's pulling back. And we literally pulled this up on our screen. Look. From talking about it to where it is now, it's gone up 77%. Now, these can be a lot harder to sell too and to trade because the liquidity and the volume isn't always going to be there. If you think, oh, I'm just going to buy 1,000 shares at 60 cents, it could be hard to get rid of all 1,000 shares. Wow, 70%, just like that, guys. That's when I need to set my alerts on these little guys, right? It's up 46% still. We're going to create an alert below. We're going to create an alert above. Because if this thing even moves a little bit like it did a second ago, you can make 16% on 1,000. That's $160 on a very small trade. Wow. Be very careful with FFIE. GameStop, not doing much. Intel, trading sideways a little bit. Mars making another push down. Okay, so it broke our alert. So we may consider buying this company again. As soon as it figures out where its direction is, we may buy in again and sell for a high. So you don't need to complicate it. You don't need to trade 1,500 different stocks and be in 10 different positions and be stressed out and looking for opportunities. You can literally just track the exact same company every single day, every single week, identifying its key areas of support, key levels of resistance, right? What are you comfortable with? What would you be comfortable with holding overnight if you had to? Right, here's support, here's resistance, clear as day. Microsoft going back down to its support. In Nanex, looks like it had a nice run from support to resistance, 4%. So you find you a company that's a little bit volatile, something you believe in maybe. NEO would have been nice, about a 3% profit here. making higher lows and higher highs. Occidental Ocugen is up 5% today after talking about it. As high as 6%, 5%. So 5% would be $50 on $1,000. Mara hitting my alert again. We're going to bring that down. And we're going to wait for confirmation down this $20 level and push it up again. Another 3 or 4%. Another $30 to $60. So that's why it's good to have your alerts. And not every day there's going to be a significant play or a significant trade. So that's why you have to monitor these. It's up 4%. Reddit's up 4%. So that's when you have to, set your alert. I'm going to set an alert here. So that way if it hits below 57, we can buy. We can buy into this because we already know it's going to dip. And when it gets above these levels, we can sell. We definitely don't have to complicate it any more than that. Okay, it broke past my another alert. So while we're talking, this is selling off, and we're just waiting for confirmation of that reversal. Tesla is up from support levels of 177 to about 181. That was a 2% swing trade on Tesla, or a day trade. 2% day trade on Tesla. Sound had a nice push up. Almost 6% on Tesla. Or on SoundHound. 6% on SoundHound. On a nice little play. Starting to retrace back. Hood from MA level to high, 4.5%. Clearly seeing support levels at 2090 and resistance levels at 2186. Now it's starting to retrace back up, which would be great for any long-term investor. From here to here even, 1.5%. So that's trailing up nicely. Neo making a bounce off of that EMA level. And Mara also wanting to bounce off of the MA level. Now we'll see if it does. If it does hold to this, we will buy some more. Ride this back up 3%. Which one is up 70%? I can't read it. It was, we were just talking about it. Oh, FFIE. FFIE. It went from 44 cents to 75 cents, up 72%. 72%. That is insane. Now it's bouncing off that EMA level. It's already up 10% since I last spoke about it again, not even a minute ago. 12%. So this has potential to go up, but it also has potential to go back down. Right now, there's about a 20% potential to go from 63 to 76. Be aware of that. It can, but the liquidity on this is very, very, it's very bad. It's not very good. Mara's selling off. So that's exactly what we want to see. We want to get lower lows, so that way we can make a better investment. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, as you can see, it can come down all the way to $20 even. It can even get as low as $19.90, $19.95, stuff like that. And look at this candle, how big it was on the 4-hour. Now it's starting to make its move up. We're going to buy 10 shares. We're going to make a little bit more money. Nice green candle, trying to fake people out. $20.50 is still even kind of high. Should have waited to get back down to that 2020 level. I don't want to get stuck in that same boat where I'm holding overnight. But that's what's cool about it too, is like you don't need a lot of shares to like make your point, right? Like whatever your goal is, if it's $30 a day, if it's $3 a day, if it's $300 a day, whatever your goal is, you just have to match that with however much money you have. So if you want to make $300 a day and only have $100, that's probably not going to work. You'd have to 3 times your money, right? But if you have $1,000 and you want to make $300, then really you only need about 30% or about a third of your money. So big difference for sure. Let's see what this does, because this can just have this fake rally here. See this fake right here? And then it just pulls all the way back down. We are going to see what it does. Should have bought here, lows at 2037, 2034, something like that. That's okay, right? I mean, even $200 is a good example of watching this go up from 2051 back up to 2107 would be 3%. 3% on $200 would be about another $6 for this small trade. And if it doesn't go in my favor, well, what's the percentage here? 2051, I'm risking, say less than 1% to make potentially 3%. So a 1-for-3 ratio. It's still somewhat in the middle. Now Neo is going off right here on my little line. I said if it bounced, then I would buy some more, but I may not make 1%. I may not do that. It's not enough. Definitely not enough. Here we go, Mara. Okay, nice sell off here, selling off. Which will give us an opportunity to buy more shares when we see fit. Hello, welcome to the live stream. If you haven't signed up for WeBull, definitely do, guys. If you put $5 into WeBull using the account in the description below, or the link in the description below, and put $5 in your account, you'll get 12 free shares. Even if those 12 free shares are only $2 or $3 each, that's $12 to $24. So you're 4 to 5 timesing your initial investment of $5 by simply signing up for WeBull if you've never used it before. And also, if you don't like WeBull, we have MooMoo, we have ROBINHOOD. Those are all great platforms. Links are in the description below to get you some free money to start trading stocks. Guys, I did the same thing. I signed up for Robinhood years ago, got a free share of Facebook, aka Meta, or Meta, aka Facebook, and got $179 for one free share. 3 days later, I sold it and was able to use that $180 to trade other companies and make even more money. Guys, if you can't read the screen or it looks blurry, you may want to check your settings. We are streaming in 1080p. My quality here, if you go to advanced, it's at 1080p, so be aware of that. By adjusting your settings, you can have a higher quality picture. It's not me. It's probably your phone or your internet connection. So let's see some new lows here, breaking that MA level. Here we go, selling off. Now in the 4-hour doesn't look so bad. This thing could go all the way back down to $20 even. $20 even Steven. This support level doesn't mean anything. See, it looks like it's about to crash and break through the support level. So I'm going to be patient before entering into another trade, or at least adding to this position, because see how high it is? It's at 2051. And as you can see, it tends to break pretty far past those levels. That's a 10% break. Right here's almost a 10% break, and then it'll recover. And it'll recover 20 something percent, 30 something percent. So that's what we want. We want that 20% recovery when it does decide to correct itself. We want that 12% to 20% recovery, just like it did here. 17, 18% recovery, 16% recovery. $16% on $1,000 investment would be $160. So be aware of that. And this was a nice fake out. Look at that fake out here. Faked us out here, faked us out here, and now it may fake us out again. And it may not, it just may start going back up. Looking at the 1 hour, clear signs of support here, 2024. Does it bounce? Does it stay? Does it go up? Does it go down? Looks like it's going to continue to sell off. I mean, look at the range on this, though. Isn't that just amazing? The range from lows to highs, 4.5%. Potentially it can do the same thing, 4.5%. And this is just on the daily. 4.5% on the day compared to even 15% on the week. Pretty good moves. We're going to buy 10 at 2029, 2032. So now we're at 2042 levels. 2042 to these highs would be another 3.5%. Hope you guys are all having a good morning. Thanks for spending a part of your day with me here. Go live every single morning at market open. Monday through Friday, so definitely check out some of our other videos. Some days we get lucky, make a couple $100. Some days we only make a couple bucks. And some days I don't lock in a profit at all. I'll either swing trade it overnight to break even or lock in profits like I did today. And sometimes we do have to cut our losses. But this month, compared to other months like January, February, March, and even April, we had a struggle. It was like 50-50 on my win rate. And then it went to 60-40 and then 70-30. And now in May, I've had a much higher success rate, an 80% success rate. So for every 10 trades I make, I'm profitable on 8 of them. And I make sure to keep my losses at a very, very small minimum. If I'm down, $10, that's like the most I want to take a loss on. It's about $10. Whereas before, I let my losers ride, and then I'd be down $30, $50. I'd be down $100, and that's never good, right? Never, never good. So here we go, starting to push up from previous lows. Didn't quite make it to my my alert level. Now if this alert goes off around here, then I'll buy. We're in the green again. We're just gonna ride this up. Wanted to add more to it. I can, I guess, at this level. Maybe I'll wait. If it pulls back again one more time, see how it went up, pulled back. I'll wait for it to pull back again and I'll add more shares. If not, then we're just going to be looking at selling the 20 shares I do have. Now 20 shares is still, you know, somewhat significant, $400. So if this goes from 2042 to 2071, that's 3%. And so even 3% at 2104 on 400 would be 4812. That'd be another $12 on top of the 30 we have. So for about a $40, almost $50 day, which is what our goal is. Finding a lot of support at that MA level. Yep, a lot of support, a lot of green coming in. People buying 1,000 shares, 2,000 shares. Can you see this? Time and sale. Someone bought 1,000 shares at 2045. Oh, now it's selling. It's coming down. 2040. It's a good thing we didn't double down, right? And add another 20 shares at 2042, thinking that was a new support. So if it comes out at 2022, I'll buy some more. So when it does bounce from that, say 2020, 30, it's probably where I can get. Then I'd have a smaller loss area, right? I'd only be risking like a half of a point or less to make 4 points, right? So that'd be a 1-to-4 ratio. Live stream's going for almost an hour. Coming up on an hour here in a minute. Hope you guys are finding value in this. If you are, definitely smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really helps other people that find this content interesting. Helps them find it as well. See how it was above the EMA level earlier? Now it broke that support of it. It's coming down, went up. Now it's a resistance, came back down, and now it's going back up with a heavy resistance. So the EMA line, the blue line, is acting as a resistance today after that first initial push up. So be aware of that. We can load up and buy a heck of a lot more. Even Ocugen's up 5% today. Where's FFI? FFIE, that's still going up. FFIE, where'd you go? Not really. Kind of trading sideways now. Here we go, wanting to push. Finding that support. There we go, starting to move up now. Some good buyers coming in. 1,600 shares, 1,000 shares. There we go, pushing up. 2,000, 2,000, 3,000. Very cool. There it goes, starting to push up. Now I'm not going to add any more money to this position because again, if it comes down, I could add more at a lower level. Now that it's going up, I can sell for more money. We just passed the $30 mark. So we'll get ready to sell our 20 shares at market levels. As soon as I start seeing clear indication of it coming back down, then we'll just simply get out. But for now, we're going to ride this up. Here we go, going up. So up almost $5 on this trade. Could have been 10 if I went a little heavier. That's okay. Finding some of that resistance. Still got a green candle, so it's pushing up. And I think this may be area of resistance right here, guys. So we may sell now at the 2060, 2063. It still wants to push back to 2060. You could also sell half of those, you know, sell 10 maybe. And then keep 10 to ride. So that way if it comes down, it's not as significant. Here we go, it's testing. Now if this has a red candle, then it'll probably sell back off and come back down. Closed red, so yeah, looks like it's gonna come back down now. Could fake us out though, and then continue to rise. See these two red candles? And then it broke up and then started moving up forward. There we go, looks like it wanted to there for a second. Looks like it may just come right back down. In a way, this is called scalping. You know, buying and selling within, you know, less than 30 minutes sometimes. Oh, huge sell-off. No. So a lot of people buying right here. A lot of people buying. Testing the support at the EMA line, right? So before it was resistance underneath it. Now it's above it. So it's testing to see how strong the support level is. If it is very strong, then this thing can pop up easily 2.5%. Getting us to our $50 goal for the day. If not, then we just need to wait a little longer. Maybe average down, get some more shares in us right here at this level, and then push up with more shares higher. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Biggest part about trading is waiting, sitting on your hands, not getting too aggressive with your trades, but also not being too, you know, docile or complacent. There we go, testing support at the EMA level, or at the MA, right? The MA level going down. So we may be able to showcase one more buy here at these smaller levels, and then for that nice rally up. Catching some support though right there. Ooh, big move. Someone just bought 5,000 shares at 2047. Literally right on the head of the MA. 5-minute can tell a story. 30-minute can tell a story. The 1 hour can tell a story. The 4 hour can tell a story for sure. Daily. Okay. There we go. Starting to push up again. We want this thing to really pop up. And we'll lock in some more profits. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Trading Mara today. We got Mara pulled up, Marathon Digital Holdings on the 1 minute using WeBull. If you guys are interested in using the WeBull platform, signing up with only $5 and getting a bunch of free shares, you can do that by clicking the link in the description below. I believe it's the third link. First link is going to give you access to our Investing for Beginners community.com. It is free for free trading tools, 100% free. There is no paywalls or free trial memberships. It's just 100% free. And then the second link is our Discord. Also free, no paywalls. It's not like I show you half for free and you have to pay the other half. Nothing like that. 100% free, guys. I make enough money in the stock market to be able to provide free information, okay? I don't need to charge you guys for a course or an ebook or anything. I have a free ebook also, free budget template, a lot of free resources you guys can use to better increase your odds at investing. Go, starting to pull back, had a nice break above, which honestly was a nice 2% run. So anyone would be happy with 2%, especially trading with like say $10,000. 2% would be $200. So it just depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to make 20 a day, 50 a day, 100 a day, 200 a day in the market, know what your goal is, how to get to that, and how much money you would need to get to that, right? So a 4% run, 4% would be $40 on 1,000 or $400 on 10,000. Big difference. The more money you have invested, obviously the more money you can make, but also you can lose. So be aware of that as well. So now that this is trading sideways a little bit, I may just exit out of this position. Because it went from making higher lows and higher highs to now lower lows and lower highs each and every time, right? So once we start seeing signs of change in direction going up, right, even the EMA starting to curl back, we can get this to curl up and move and go forward, then we can make some decent money. And here it goes, possibly. Honestly, I'd be happy just getting over the 30 mark today. Don't have to be greedy and get the $50 every single day. Now this is acting as a resistance. Let's break free from it. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm going to end up selling, and then it's going to end up skyrocketing. It always happens. I'll sell here, and I'll miss out on 2 or 3% of 400. That's, 4 or 8. That's another $8, which would get me closer to 40 for the day. Now, this is on a small account, guys. Okay, a $50 goal on $3,000 is a pretty aggressive goal to have. Let's see, $3,000, 1% is $30. 1%. Because 1% on 1,000 is $10. Yeah, looks like it's just going to come back down. Oh yeah, there it goes. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Already up $29 that we are locked in. An additional $2 now as this company starts to go up. I'll keep you updated in the Discord when I sell out of this position today, or if I'm going to buy more at a lower area. I will keep you guys all up to date, and we will see you all in tomorrow morning's live stream for our Friday trading session before the weekend. Thank you guys. I appreciate you spending a part of your day with us, and we will see you all in the next one. Thank you, and have a great day.